Okay, I just started the recording. I showed a bunch of stuff before I started recording. Sorry if you missed it, but yeah, I'll show some more junk anyway. Um, I'm just showing artwork today because I had no plan. Um, Maybe I'll show it again someday, who knows. And before there were adult color books, when I felt like coloring and had nothing to color, I would take this composition book and just color designs or make an envelope because I love designs. And I just taped a Ziploc in here to keep this junk in. But honestly, you guys, something like that is so easy. All it is straight lines and colored pencil. Oh, you want me to show how I folded that little book? Okay. Let me go back here and find it. It was after this. Here it is. There are different ways that you can fold a zine. This is the way we did it for Dee Dee's. It's just on an 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of paper. Fold it in half. Oops, focus. Okay, fold it in half. Fold it in half this way, and then fold it this way. And the way that can work, okay, is you cut the slit here between the first and fourth panel. Fold it out like this. Well, fold it out like that, and then in. You can fuss at me all you want, Dee Dee. I'm sorry, I just didn't. But it's not something I'm going to stress about, I know that. So, did you get that, or you want me to fold it again? It's pretty darn simple. Just an 8.5 by 11-inch sheet, cut like that, and then fold it out. And then when you're actually designing it, like this would be panel 1, 2. Hey Dee Dee, look at what I got. I love it. I love it, love it. This would be panel 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn it around. This is 5, 6, 7, 8 is how the panels. So they're upside down, but then they turn right side up when you fold it correctly. Yeah, Dee Dee has some recordings of how to do this, and actually everybody's submission when she hosted these swaps. And again, everybody did such a cool job. If you haven't seen the recording, go see it. Dee Dee is on Ustream. She's Coffee and Art in the Morning. And on Ustream, just search for Dee Dee Willingham. You'll never regret having done it. Bye, Rose. Are you leaving trouble? Hi, CB. Go take care of that wing, Trouble. So, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, I just flipped through this book for everybody to see the artwork. So I'm sorry I wasn't recording, but you know what happens. I'm working hard at not saying the bad words. You're welcome, Dee Dee, and I don't say that because you're here. I say it because I wholeheartedly mean it. All right, Trouble. Well, you can watch the recording. Now that you guys reminded me, there'll be something to see. But anyway, this is what I used to do before adult coloring books. I would just make, and again, that's that same pattern that I love so much. I would just color designs. This is all colored pencil, all barrel or Prismacolor. And this is actually a quilt pattern that I made at one time for my bed. I don't sew anymore. Boxes, rainbow boxes. This is another quilt pattern that I love, and I love those colors. I would make this quilt for my bed. That was from 2011. And I wrote over here that it's navy Prismacolor number 901, brown 941, and how I did it. Like I was going to recreate that someday. I don't think so. That may be all. Oh, nope. But like Dee Dee tells us, just doing something like this, I think, is good practice for use of colors, color combinations, whatever. Like this one, all the colorful patterns, I love that. But I can pick out parts of it that I really like because I like those two colors next to each other. Or, you know, I just think I think that may be all. I have patterns drawn out that I haven't colored. Because by then I probably found adult coloring books or something. So there you go. I'm running out of room here, you guys. Okay, this was a book that I made for, I guess, instruction and learning for my own enjoyment, whatever. This is that same little guy that I showed earlier. This was from 2004. And I'll show how to draw him again. This is in almost every drawing book you'll ever look at. It's right brain, left brain. What do you see? Do you see two faces? Or do you see the vase? And it depends on which side of your brain you're using, which you see. And when you can transfer back and forth, that is your brain transferring back and forth. And this was just learn perspective drawing. Really, CB? Yeah, I love doing stuff like that. I see both too. And this is just removing graphite. And it was a lesson I was drawing somewhere, but to lay down the graphite and then make the picture emerge out of the graphite using eraser. So this just and shading, just different ways to shade, whether you use the little squiggles or cross hatching or solid pencil, whatever. And this, I'm almost certain, is out of Drawing for Dummies. How to draw with graphite, different skin textures, and squiggly hair. And he is cute. One thing about graphite is it gets everywhere, but I love drawing in graphite. I mean, I just love it. And that's why so much of my stuff is black and white. But I'm learning color. In fact, when I found Dee Dee, I was so happy because she was drawing her fruits and vegetables, I think, using Prismacolor. And I was hooked immediately. There's some genes, how to get lights and darks using graphite and eraser. And just blending. And there's a baby face from 2004. That I did not use a graph. I just drew his little cute face. Well, that's not true, CB. I think the camera is fooling you. If you saw the smudges and the junk on here, you'd say, "Oh boy, it's not so neat." And there's another baby face with a graph. Obviously not finished. I gave up partway, I guess. I think I drew this in the car. I remember drawing this. I had picked up a little brochure or something at the zoo, and I had to start his monkey face. Thanks, Josie. I wasn't hiding. I guess I just feel like I'm still a work in progress because I cannot just sit down and draw something. I need aids. But I'm working. I'm working on it all the time. Here's that same monkey with a graph. Unfinished, obviously. But I don't mind. I'm like Dee Dee. I don't mind unfinished art. If I did this and I learned something from it and I moved on, good on me. I think this is Drawing for Dummies. That's out of that book. How to use shadow to depict something that's not there. You can imagine that there's something back there in the dark areas. And this was using circles, shading circles to create something that's really not there. Well, yeah, I understand, Carrie. And this I loved. I loved human faces. I like drawing them. And thank you, Kathy, for getting me to buy that book. I can't think the name of it right now, but Drawing Heads and Hands or something like that. This book had you draw the entire eye outside of the socket so you could get the idea of roundness rather than just an eye. And that's helpful. And obviously people who have been doing it for a long time don't have to do this. This was all back in 2004. So just a whole series of eyes. Some good, some bad, some in between. Who cares? Here's again shading. And I love shading because, I mean, you'll see things, like that ball just emerge from the paper. And all it is a circle. Dee got her screaming now. Ha 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 ha. Abraham Lincoln with a graph. How's your nose? Noses are hard. They're hard for me, and I assume they're hard for everybody because there's no lines on a nose. It truly is just using shading to create a space or a dimension that you can't just draw. And here's some, if you like the eye studies, here's some nose studies. I'm trying to hold this up so you can really get an idea. The eighth wonder of the world. Oh, Teresa, what? You want me to send you gifts, checks, money, whatever? Funny. There's some noses. And this was, again, 2004, 2005. Different angles of noses, straight on, profile, whatever. And here's some ears. Start out with, you know, the oval, and then draw the shapes, and then create dimension with shading. Ears are funny things, you know? They really are when you look at them. An ear is a funny thing. And this is a child's mouth. Dimensions on a child's mouth, well, their entire face really, are so different than an adult. In this book, I think it's Drawing for Dummies. I don't know, but I don't remember which one it is. I should have written it down. Really makes you see those differences so clearly. And then shows you step by step how to create that baby mouth or that adult mouth and get the creases. And this, I gave up on this. I obviously said, oh, that's bad. That's really bad. But you don't really draw the lines between the teeth. And I didn't really there. It's shading. It looks like lines, but it's really not. But yeah, that looks like Bozo the Clown right there. Okay, this is out of Lifelike Drawing in 2005. There's some eyes. And those eyes are from the same face. And you can see that one is not just a repeat of the other. You know, depending on angle, eyes will have different shapes. And there's an ear. I drew the Joker, yeah. And this is Lifelike Drawing. Those teeth are better. Pat, I'm going to go get the book here in a minute, and I'll tell you exactly. Okay, this I think is drawing outside, drawing on the right side of the brain. This was my before drawing. My hand before, and I don't know where the after is, but I stuck it in here for whatever reason. Does that look like my hand? And that's just a hand. And that may be all in that one. Oh, how about a fish? Do you want a fish? There, you can have a fish. You guys, I try and be organized, but you will find stuff like this all over my house. You'll find it if you pick up a magazine, a drawing might fall out. Okay, and this was using some color. I remember when I was just starting to mess with color, how to use, for example, blue and red for a shadow on a green ball. That is a hard concept for my brain. It really is. But I think I'm getting better. I've got some color drawings I'll show you here in a minute. But this is all like 2004 stuff, so this is 10 years ago. More than 10 years. I'm going to save that one. I don't know what this is. I'll speed up here because you guys have been putting up with this for a long time now. Okay, this is just some more drawings. This was actually a design I came up with. I'll maybe show it. I made a mat for a picture of my granddaughter that I used this design, and I did gold where the pink is. I'll see if I can find it. But anyway, yeah. Yep, that was the prototype drawings. And then I had to figure out spacing so that the corners came out exactly in the design, you know. But that's kind of what I did for a living, so. A spool of thread. That's 2005 drawing. This is lifelike drawing. Drawn on a grid. Pumpkin. See, that's my pumpkin. You have to go watch Dee Dee's stream from this morning to see a really cool pumpkin. Drawing on shapes, cylinders, cones, circles. Alright, and this was a challenge for myself. This is a watering can that I drew with a graph. And this is my drawing without the graph. I think they're okay. Not that big a difference. Okay, you can get the lifelike drawing on Amazon. You can get it free on Kindle Prime. Wow. And here's in color a drop of water. And that looks so much better on camera than it does in real life. When you look at it in real life, I don't know, can I get it close enough where you can see the strokes of the pencil and stuff that make it look uneven? But when you drop it down, that actually is pretty good. What the heck? I guess it's just fooling your brain, right? To see something that's not really there. Okay, here's a jeans pocket. This is when I was messing with color. I love the idea of like the thing that makes jeans is the wearing on the seams and where there's double fabric, and I love drawing that and depicting it. Okay, someday, Josie, I will do maybe a tutorial or a draw along with me stream of how to draw a drop of water. It is surprisingly easy. And then after you do it a few times, and reinforce in your brain what you had to do to get what you want. And here's the jeans. This I did in December of 05. And I was good this time. I don't know what got into me, but I wrote down what colors I used for the rivets, the stitches, the denim. And see, like in the denim, There's like 5 different colors of blue there. And see, if I'd done this in graphite, I would have used an eraser to pick up every place that I wanted that one of those wrinkles to appear. That's a lot harder to do with colored pencil. With colored pencil, you have to plan ahead because it doesn't erase so good. Here's a paper bag. This was from 2006. Now I remember I did this while we were at South Padre Island. I do remember doing this one. And these drawings actually look better on camera. Like the crease in the sack right there. That looks so cool. It doesn't in real life it doesn't look like that. But I think I got the shadows pretty good, and yeah. But this again, I was learning. Shiny cloth is hard. This actually looks better on camera than it does in real life. But I'm learning. I'm trying. Let's see what this is. Oh, this was, I think this was a quilt, actually, that one of my friends was making while we were down at Padre, and I started drawing it. Obviously, never finished. She probably finished the quilt. I did not finish the drawing. I think I got frustrated with the colors. So, yeah. And these are just fun little doodles that I do. There's a porpoise down there. So those are just doodles. There's just a fun drawing page. I like geometry. I like angles. So I used to just sit down and draw stuff like this all the time. This too, circles. I love circles. And that might be all in there. Oh, that's one of my granddaughters. Circles again. Here's paisleys with circles in them. Alright, that's it for that sketchbook. Alright, and I remember this one too. There's an envelope that I haven't finished. And this was a sketch I did for something that I did for Dar's homework. Here is, again, learning. I'll have to turn this over. And this is how to create a rich black using blue, red, and green. This is black pencil. This is burnished black. And then this is the black that you got with the 3 colors of Prismacolor. Because a deep, rich black is hard to depict unless you use acrylic paint. And this is just a color wheel, obviously. and then the colors I use to produce it. Here's my first attempt at color, Dee Dee. Here you go. It says first attempt at color, 2005. And then the Prismacolors that I used to do it. So I guess not too terrible bad for a first attempt, huh? You could, Trina. You could do any of this. Any of you, honestly. If I can do it, if I can teach myself, any one of you can do this. I promise you. Here's a soft, working on how to create a soft edge versus a hard edge. This was using Verithin pencils. I'm not sure why I was using Verithin, but I was. Pretty rough if you get up close. And this is just Prismacolor. First attempt at color selection. I have no idea what that note meant. There's my little thumbnail sketch. And then the actual flower. I'm trying to get rid of that shadow. I don't know what it is, honestly. And a rose. I didn't like that. Black and white drawings. A tulip. And I think this, I was actually trying to learn something about backgrounds or something and didn't finish it. That feels almost like acrylic paint. I don't know. And there's the teddy bear. He might, well, I can't tell. But I used to be good about giving myself the numbers that I used. I don't do that so much anymore. I like his plaid feet and ears. Do I ever use color palettes? I'm not sure what you're asking exactly. Because in my mind, a color palette is any colors you're using. Okay, there's what I drew off of for one of these back here. I don't know. Anyway, this obviously is one that I started that I haven't finished. And probably never will. I will never go back. This one, I think I actually drew that to send to my pen pal and never sent it. Or I did a similar one for a birthday card or something for her. Okay, and here's that hairy guy in color. And that's all in that book. I love to start new journals. I hate to finish them, apparently. Let me see what's in here. I'm about done. But I thought Oh, Dee Dee, here's some Bronco stuff. I did a thing for my brother, a Bronco. Those are Bronco things that I use. Atlanta beat us yesterday. It was so sad. Our first loss this season. Breaks my heart. This is the sort of sheets that are everywhere in my house when I'm doodling. I think those are all the grandkids' initials for some project I was working on. This is, I don't think I have an actual copy of this, but this is a card I was making for my next door neighbor's 90-year-old aunt. She wanted something special, so I slapped this together. I don't know where the original is. I have this crap everywhere. Yep, there's my little granddaughter. That one's naked. You can't see that, but yep, that's little Sarah. Here's some calligraphy stuff. This is real organized, you can tell. Okay, here's a bunch of Celtic knots that I've drawn. I used to use these for color. And I did a lot of hand lettering too, Dee Dee. This is probably a better example of my calligraphy, but I'm like you, Dee Dee, I haven't kept up with it, so yeah, use it or lose it. Okay, and that's one that I obviously didn't like. Geez, this is all really old stuff. Glad there's not much to show in there. But isn't it funny, Dee Dee, that so much of this stuff that we've done or whatever is the same? I did calligraphy. I've got calligraphy pens. I have worked on doing certificates and that sort of stuff for different organizations. So much of what you talk about, I'm like, holy cow, I did that. What's really weird to me, Dee Dee, is you had worked for the cross stitch company and designed. I didn't do the actual designs, but I almost took a job with a cross stitch company to do the actual production of the books after you did the designs, and I almost took that job. So you would have finished what you did, and then I would have picked it up from there and actually got it produced and distributed. So that's so funny. But this is one of the things that I thought about a few years ago, well, when Jim was sick. I wanted to make a little book and call it The Finishing Touch. Because I believe every one of us can draw. Whether it's realistic drawing, whether it's a doodle, whether it's Zentangle, whatever you're drawn to, I believe if you want to do it and sit down and do it, you can. But I noticed, like with rubber stamp cards and stuff like that, before everybody got die cutting machines and this and that a lot of times products didn't look finished. And so I thought they just need a book to show them how to finish it, how to make it look really cool, you know. So I wanted to make up a book that tells people you can draw. And I have no idea when I did this stuff, but it had to be between 1997 and 2000 because that's when Jim was sick. And so I started out really easy, like using dots and circles. that anybody can make a dot or a circle. And with just a little bit of effort, you know, say I write the word fun, just by adding dots, you can turn it into something more fun. Again, you know, like just how to use something as simple as a dot. That such a small thing can make such a big difference. And then combining dots. And then they can imply movement in the air or in the ground, you know, just, and then circles, you know, make just a row of circles turns into a border. And here's more stuff you can draw with circles. Just a circle. You can turn it into an 8-ball, or a flower, or a paw, or a foot, or bubbles. Or buttons. Or a gumball border. Or just colorful circles, whatever. And then how use of color can create a feeling or a theme. You know, we use red and green for Christmas, black and orange for Halloween, blue and pink for babies, red, blue, and yellow for children, spring colors, outdoor, autumn, go Broncos, your favorite team. And then I went on and did lines. How you can, you know, just combinations of lines, and you can do a lot with it. Now there are books like this out there. So I was, again, day late and $1 short. But how with the use of color and lines, you can just create amazing things. And honestly, that's nothing more than a line. Different thicknesses of lines. Squares. Patterns. These are all straight lines. How to use a graph like this for including several elements on a card or whatever. A film strip. You can make stars with straight lines, boxes, cubes, a keyboard, envelopes. And then starting to combine lines and circles. And then when you start combining lines and circles, like it's endless what you do from there. So anyway, I think this was the original prototype. It's essentially the same thing. I went a little further, that then at some point you can add a teardrop and then just really go to town. So anyway, that was the finishing touch. But that's why I believe anybody can draw. If you start simple, whether it's to make a card or whatever, you can do it. Obviously, didn't make a book. I think this is where I started the idea for the book. Yep. This is all different lettering and different ideas before I put that together. This is what I started it in. Yep. Tons of junk around here, you guys. So, are you bored to death yet? Or do you want to see more? What time does Carrie come on? Somebody needs to answer me. Okay, before I show this book, I'm not going to show this book right now. I'm going to go get the that book I was talking about to show you it. It'll take me just a second. Okay. Here's Drawing for Dummies. And yes, it was Brenda Hodnott, I think, is how you pronounce her name. I don't know. But I would say if you have any interest in drawing at all, she literally covers everything in this book. Any question you could have about, even like I just flipped through and said the use of fixatives, she pretty much addresses any question you might have about drawing. There's that knit that you saw that I do. But I mean, I have pored over this book and pored over it and read it and, you know, learned about cast shadows and see how everything you pick up in my house has this. And I have it like bookmarked. Why I have it bookmarked, I don't know. Let's see why I would have this page bookmarked. No clue. Geez, I have no clue why I have bookmarks. Weaving. But anyway, I would say if it's not necessarily an eye candy book, but it is definitely a want to learn book. If you want to learn, put in some time and read it, and do the exercises, you know. I mean, that's why she put it out there for you to, there's the baby's mouth I drew, for you to learn from. And this and drawing on the right side of the brain, I would say, encouraged me as much as anything. I'll say, so you guys aren't bored. What did anybody tell me what time Carrie's going to be on? Oh, you're not streaming for 2 hours? Well, if you guys want to hang out, I've got another couple things here that I'll show you. Some of them I don't even remember. I just know that they're in the section of my cupboard that has either artwork or stuff I've done. Here's some, oh, this is sheet protectors again. Now it's going to glare. Okay, this was also what I drew for my little neighbor. She doesn't live here anymore. I made this for her. She was a nurse, and so I did a drawing for her, and this said it takes someone special to be a nurse. Hi, Allie. And I love letters. I love drawing letters. I like decorating letters. I like illumination, obviously. So just, oh, and it's a God thing. This is why I don't want a job, Dee Dee. I did a promotional thing for a church in Tulsa, and their motto was, it's a God thing. And they were going to put it on hats, memo pads, everything. Everything was going to have it's a God thing on it. That's Illumination, my original. And it's yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That is why it's called the present. But anyway, I about went nuts working on that it's a God thing promotion. Not because it's a God thing, but because you had 40 people making decisions about design. I literally about went out of my mind. So, yeah. My chat isn't moving, so are you guys not talking? Okay, here's some other postage I made, Carrie. This was February 2004. Okay, and this is that border I made for my granddaughter's picture. That's more what it came out like. Okay, yeah, chat move then. Alright, these are all just little doodles, things that I do. This I did for, this was just the prototype, just to show them. A postcard for one of the local businesses as a free giveaway. Just to show them, do you want something like this, whatever. Again, I turned it into postage. And this was greetings from Monkey Island. That was for another. Yeah, that, God, these are old. Old. Lettering again. I love lettering. This I truly loved, and I can't show you an original on it, but I did this for Robert's daughter's wedding. And I don't know if I blew it up or whatever. But I use these little roses in the background for everything. And then these orchids, you can't see it now. It wasn't exactly this design. But in this knot, and the spacing came out really good. This was Jackie and Jim. Let me see. It says, and it goes around the knot, it says, love is a virtue that endures forever, a link of matchless jewels none can sever. They on whose breasts this sacred love doth place shall after death the fruits thereof embrace. Amongst the many pleasures that we prove, none are so real as the joys of love. For this is love, and worth commending, still beginning, never ending. And I thought it was so appropriate because if you follow the knot around, it truly is never ending. You'll just keep going forever. So, yep, that was for Jackie's wedding. And is this not the truth? A successful marriage is not just in finding the right person, but being the right person. And that was from 2002. That's when they got married. And then I did her a whole photo album using the same kind of theme with all their photos in it. And I'm not a scrapbooker, believe me. And trying to figure out how to do letters in Celtic knots. That's a challenge, but fun. And these are the knots again and again. I love them. I love drawing them. I love coloring them. I love shading them. And this is, I did letter this, but I did not draw it. The image in the background, this was a bookmark that I gave to some of my friends at some point. Golly! Butterfingers. The image in the background is actually a stamped image. I stamped it and colored it and then wrote on vellum paper and glued it on top. But I think it's perfect for women. I am a precious, wondrous, special, unique, divine, rare, valuable, whole, sacred, total, complete, entitled, worthy, and deserving person. We should all believe that. So, yep. And there's my coffee cup design again. I like the cup. It's pretty. Alright, you guys. Here you go. I'm going to read this to you because it's funny. It's called The Monkey's Disgrace, and that's my writing. 3 monkeys sat in a coconut tree, discussing things they are said to be. Said one to the other, "Now listen, you two. There's a certain rumor that can't be true. That man descended from our noble race. The very idea is a disgrace. No monkey ever deserted his wife, starved her babies, and ruined her life. And you've never known a mother monk to leave her babies with others to bunk, or pass them on from one to another, till they scarcely know who is their mother. Here's another thing a monk won't do: go out at night and get on a stew, or use a gun or club or knife to take some other monkey's life. Yes, man descended, the ornery cuss, but brother, he did not descend from us." And I've kept that for years and years and years, because it's so true. And I do stuff like this, borders and stuff like that, all the time. Hi, Bunny. All right, I wish I had kept this, because this was something I did that I love. This was the birthday card for my granddaughter when she turned 1. Her name is Kayla. And this is all I have left of it. And this is where I was trying to figure out spacing for the blocks and the design and whatnot. But I wish I had made a copy of it before I sent it, but I didn't. Baby post. And there's the, look at, does that look familiar, Dee Dee? I did that for Dee Dee. You've all seen it, I'm sure. The Sock Monkey Sentinel. I have some ideas for another one. It's just, when am I ever going to get to it? Alright, that may be all I have. Yeah, because you've seen this one. So that's all I drug out to show you guys. I'm sure it's not all that's around here, but it's all I drug out for today. I'm trying to look around. And then next time, Eileen, I'll show all my pens. Here's the little thing that sits by my, sits right next to where I sit. These are the ones that I use a lot. They're beautiful, aren't they? I'm so lucky. This is just a fraction, okay? I mean, a small fraction. Sock monkey. Oh, look. Sock monkey. And Mitzi made me this. Mitzi Curry. A penny with my name stamped in it on the year I was born. You need this T-squared. This is really a handy little tool. It's like, I'll see if I can order you one, Carrie. I don't know what if Amazon Canada will have it or not, but honestly, this tool I use probably as much as any tool I have. That and this. I don't know if you guys can get this. Well, I'm sure you can order it somewhere. But this is a type gauge to figure out spacing for books or whatever. I use this. That's why it's right at my elbow, because I use this constantly to figure out different spacing. But I like rulers. What kind of box is that? It's a handmade. It's probably out of a cereal box, Carla. I covered it with I don't know, pattern paper. And then the washi tape on the corners I actually made just out of stamps and stuff. But I used, there's tons of videos about how to make a box or whatever, but use the strips inside. Oh, what's the name of them? Golly, my brain is blank. Reinforcing strips to make them inside. But yeah, and it's just got 4 little compartments, and it could use a rework, I promise you. But it holds all the stuff that I love right here. And look, that's where I hide all you guys' names and stuff. You guys think I'm smart. I'm not. I cheat. You missed the box show. What box show? Oh, you need a stream on those tools? Okay. See, Carrie, you are coming up with the greatest ideas. I got to make a copy of that for Dorothy. Here, I'll get out another Post-it. All right, Carrie. You want a tool stream. Yeah, I love a ruler is a great thing. Spill all your secrets. I will. Hobby Lobby has... Oh, okay. Hobby Lobby has the T-square. I did not know that. I ordered it off Amazon, and I paid like $1 or something ridiculous. The box of pens? Okay, well, here you go. Box o' pens. They've got my friction pens. I'm not crazy about friction, frankly. Yeah, just a few pens that I like. Okay, I'm gonna quit lying to you guys. I love every pen ever created, and chances are I bought it. A lettering stream, okay. Well, you guys are gonna have me streaming a lot. Oh, you just came back as you were showing the box. Okay. We need to learn a Zine stream and a mail art. Mail art would be fun, actually, because you can do that pretty quick. Okay, how to use the type guide. Okay, Staples and Office Depot have the T-square too. What did you use to make the box? Okay, I probably don't remember, honestly, but if I know me, I probably took a cereal box, figured out the dimensions that I wanted. Well, for it to be this long, because this is over about 11.5 inches long, yeah, it would have had to be a cereal box or something like that to be able to get that long a piece of cardboard. But I save like cracker boxes, cereal. I don't save them anymore, but I use cereal boxes, cracker boxes, whatever, if I need to make a little box or something like that. But yeah, it looks like it's about time for a new one. Holy cow. But anyway, and then I just covered it with pattern paper, and it just sits here on my table right here, so I always have something to write with, but I can't ever find something to write with. I don't know what is wrong with me. So anyway, yeah, that's just my box of stuff that I use. And someday I should... My room is not very big, okay, but I don't do a lot of the stuff that you guys do. But I've got a wall of cabinets behind me, so everything's put in there. And then I have, I'll show you guys how I keep a lot of my pens and pencils, because I love cigar boxes. So most of my materials are in a little bookshelf just to my right. I just have to lean over a little bit or get up. And all my supplies I keep in cigar boxes on my little shelf. So if I'm not using them, at least I get to look at them. And you guys do swatches on pieces of paper. I've learned that swatches work better for me if they're like this, more like a paint book swatch. So I have hundreds of these stupid swatches everywhere, but I do use them. And in my humble opinion, these are Aquatone in this box, and they were given to me. These were scavenged out of a fire from an art store in Edmonton, Alberta. And I don't know if the fire affected their usefulness or how they behave, so I don't want to say anything, but of all the water-soluble products, save up and buy Neo2. These aren't horrible, but I mean, if you look, here's the Neo2s. Look at that. Save up and buy the good ones. Really. These I wouldn't. I know some people probably love them. I'm not crazy about them. I'm reading chat real quick. Janet uses wine boxes. Actually, Eileen, I do have a wine box over there, but I don't drink it. That's for a friend that comes by who drinks wine. But I do actually have wine in a box over there. So yeah, I've come to determine that these kind of swatches are more useful for me than a swatch on a paper, or you know, like a little swatch colored on a big paper. Hang on, I'm gonna, like for my colored pencils. I keep these portable so they can go to the couch or wherever with me. This is my colored pencil swatch. I mean, I have this one that's the Prismacolor chart, but that's not very useful for me. It's really not. I like it. It's cool looking, but if I'm really trying to pick out a color, I go to this little bad boy. And then I punched holes in it. So say I'm trying to match a color. I can put this over and say, well, that's a pretty good match. It's numbered 1009. So these are more useful to me. Eileen's got you guys making fun of me now, I know. If you drink wine in a box, does that make you a box drunk? I'm sure it does, Teresa. It's been there, done that. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I just put them on an elastic. This one doesn't have any elastic left though. So yeah, that's how I like them. And actually, let me see if this is just Prismacolor or if I've got them all. Yeah, this is just Prismacolor. This is not the crayon and the other products that I have. This is Prismacolor only. So now you guys can do that this afternoon. You can, this is, it's probably hard to get, Eileen, and I can't think of the name of it, but the closest I can think of would be Bristol, but it's got to be the real fine finish. But it's paper that I had from when I had the print shop, and it's but the closest would be, I would say, a Bristol. Yeah. But I think you can use anything, really. She doesn't want to swatch. She wants to, I want to swap. Okay. Professional swatching. Yeah. That would be a whole lot of fun. I could sit and color for you guys. Um, but on some of the products too, not colored pencil, because I don't ever use colored pencil on something that's been gessoed, but on some of those, like the water-soluble products that I showed you, let's see if I did it on that one. I rarely use gesso. But what I did, yeah, on this one I did it. But on some of them, you can tell the difference. The top part is not gessoed. The bottom part is gessoed. So you can see, you know, you can do this on one swatch. You can do what it's going to act like on the paper and what it's going to act like on gesso or something like that. So, yeah. Okay, Janet, please show and tell the storage box. Oh, for the, are you talking about the pencils? I'm thinking maybe. I don't know. I used to keep them just in trays, kind of like Dee Dee, but then I got this so that they could be more portable. What the heck's it called? I don't know. I either ordered it off Amazon or saw it at Walmart. Honestly, I don't know. But the thing I like about it is it's got the wide, and then you can take these out. And I don't know where the extras of these are. They probably got thrown away, and I don't care. I am a master swatcher. What did I make? Price tag. Oh, I cut the little pieces, Teresa, but it's really easy, so you don't have to freak out about that. I cut everything with this and this. That's all you need. Oh, and a ruler, of course. There you go. Easy peasy. Yeah, I wish I knew where, I could remember where I got this. This isn't the only box of pencils either, but this is the one that is portable, that will go to the couch, that will go on vacation, wherever I go, this one will go. Oh, and I wanted to show one thing about what I do with my colored pencils, because these bad boys aren't cheap. I mean, they're not luminance, mind you, Eileen, but I think these are pretty pricey. So when I start getting small, like this one's getting really close, okay? These three little dots here tell me that I have replacement pencils. I have to go to my replacement thing, but I've got this one and two others of this color. So when I start getting down like this, and I have a lot of pencil extenders, but it gets even smaller where you can't use it in the pencil extender anymore. What I do is I take a little drop of Aleene's Tacky or super glue or any kind of glue, whatever. I get the replacement pencil for this, and I glue it on to the new pencil. And that way, you can literally use every inch of that pencil. When you get down and you sharpen, when it right hits there, then knock it off and go sharpen the other end. Because, I mean, I have plenty of these little nubs. What the heck am I going to do with these bad boys? I could glue them on something like Paula did, I guess. But yeah, see what a pencil hoarder I am? At the time, I had 6 of these. I'm such a hoarder. Yeah, I had 6 of those at one time. But, yeah, I won't even tell you why. But anyway. And look, here's a pencil where the lead just fell right out. So I kept the lead. So anyway, I wanted to show you that, Dee Dee. So when your pencils get little, just glue them onto the next pencil. See how I put the, oops, now it's broken. It'll never work right again. Hope I have an extra. I don't. This is Deco. You can't get some of the Deco colors anymore. But I glue it so that when I start sharpening down here, the color and the number is still available. See? There you go, Dee Dee. Save your pencils. Exactly, Bunny. Yep, Frugal Crafter has nothing on me. I could, Teresa. That would involve getting the drill out, which is probably never going to happen, okay? I'm not going to get the drill out. You have your first nub? Yeah, there's something appealing about keeping the nubs, except when you start, using them up like Dee Dee does or I do. Because I use these bad boys every day, I bet. It's a rare day that these don't come out. Yeah, and you start chewing them up at the rate of $2 a pencil. Pretty soon you go, I don't want to throw that away. That equates to 50 cents I just put in the trash. Hi, LBO. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians out there. Hope you're having a great time with your family. We've got that to look forward to here in whenever. I don't know when. Another month and a half. You know what? I should start cleaning my house right now to be ready for that. Your next nub will be Tuscan Red. Tuscan Red is a good color. Indigo Blue is a good color. Anyway, so I don't know. That's all my stuff. I've showed you everything now. And these are the discontinued Prismacolors. I can't believe that they discontinued the Deco colors. I love the Deco Blue and the Deco Pink for burnishing colors. If I end up with 2 nubs, that means to buy another set. I hear you, Eileen. That's how I ended up with a lot of these where I have multiples and multiples. I either found a sale and bought them, or bought them off eBay, or used up some colors and thought, okay, it's cheaper to buy the whole set. But now I have colors that, I just don't use that frequently. So I've just started waiting for Blick to have a sale, and then I stock up and buy them individually, even though they're crappy quality. Give the newer ones a try. Oh, yeah, I kind of think, I agree with Dee Dee that they're using a different lighter wood, and the diameter of the pencils are no longer the same. I believe that they're not using as thick. Yeah, see these, they're not the same diameter. They're just not. This is thinner. This is a new one. But the last order I got from Blick's was better. I've not had the problem, and I have not put them out in the greenhouse. What I do with mine, when I get new ones, it's not hot enough now, but I would just go set them out in the greenhouse and let them get real, real hot, because it gets about 800,000 degrees in there. And I didn't have any trouble. But these last ones, I haven't done that to, and I haven't, had any trouble with them yet. So keep your fingers crossed, because I was frustrated with the Prismacolor people. I really was. That you can't charge a premium price for a crappy product. But I would say too, if you've got a box that was obviously broken or you're having a huge amount of problem, like I won't send one back to Prismacolor if I find one bad pencil, but if I had a box that was bad, I'd pack that bad boy up and send it all back to them. And I bought something at Michael's the other day. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of money for it, but it was some stickers that, honestly, I'll see if I can find what I'm telling you about. I didn't spend any money. I mean, but that's not the idea. Look at how they're die cut. That's crap. I should have just thrown my money away or gone and bought myself a cup of coffee or something. If you can't figure out where to die cut a sticker, you need to get the hell out of the business. You're not good at it. So I'm going to return these. I honestly am. I don't want my money back. I don't want anything other than to tell them, if you can't do better than this, get into another business. The price has come down, Trina, but I think that is this whole coloring craze. I think they have jumped on the bandwagon and thought, you know what, if we make them more affordable, we can sell more of them, because real artists are pissed off, and a lot of them probably are not purchasing or replacing their Prismas. They're moving on to a better product. So I think they're going for the mass market now, is why Prismacolors have come down in price. I don't know. I just make this stuff up as I go along. Yeah, see that, Carrie, if they sent me a replacement, it's probably going to be just as bad. And I don't really want a replacement. I don't care. But I remember who they are. I won't buy their product again. And now they'll know that their quality control from China, I'm sure, is not good. So anyway, all right. I need to do finish one Inktober drawing and try and get on another one, because I'm a few days behind. But thanks for the stream ideas, Carrie. I'm going to give it some thought and probably do some of them, I'm thinking. See, Marie, I will stay with Prisma too, primarily because I know their colors. You know, I don't want to have to go through learning a whole new color scheme and all that. I know their colors. I know which ones I like. I know, you know, so I will stick with Prisma too and just deal with the frustration. I've heard that too, beloved Ghost. She said that there's a colored pencil shortage. Okay, I'll tell you the truth. There ain't no colored pencil storage shortage at my house, and I'm pretty sure there's not one at Dee Dee's house. But yeah, there ain't no shortage around here. I make sure of that. Yes, Carrie, for sure. It's the risk you take. But if you've got a good reputation, see, like Prismacolor, um, I mean, I've had them literally since college, and that's 80 to 90. That's better than 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Um, I've used them ever since then. So, yeah, I mean, you've ruined your 40-year good reputation. If I was running a company, I think I would question that decision. Do I really want to ruin my good reputation? Hey, I think there's a country western song about that. Hmm. I'd sing, but you guys would really, you'd break down in tears, actually. Oh, thank you, Judy. I hope I have. I mean, I really want, if it's something you want to do, you know, and that's one thing I learned after hanging out with you guys is I started doing and trying a bunch of stuff that I had never done before that I enjoyed, but I have limited time. So by trying and doing a lot of other things, I figured out that it's robbing me of time from doing what I really started out doing, which was trying to learn to draw and learn drawing techniques and doing stuff like that. So I pretty much quit the acrylic paint, the stencils, all the stuff, because what I truly love is drawing and drawing a picture that when I'm done I go, oh, I like that. I'm going to try something else now, you know. Um, I'm not saying I won't go back and do it, but that's the thing about getting pulled in so many directions is with limited time, do you ever really get good at the thing you want to be good at? And I want to draw good. That's what I want to do. So, yeah, thanks, Josie. I don't know. I'm a goofball. I know that. Yeah, now color selection, that's something you got to think about when you're picking out pencils. Is there some manufacturers have better selection in like greens, for example. I agree with that. Oh, Carrie, if you saw my stamps, you would die. You would die if you saw the literally thousands. But I can't take blame for that because when I started doing stamps, my mother also started collecting and doing stamps. And so when she passed away, I ended up with all of hers. And yeah, I need to weed through them. But where do you start? And how do you say I don't love this one? You have to love them all, don't you? So anyway, now you guys got to see a bunch of my stuff, and honestly, you guys, I only show you guys my art because we have that common interest. But if you knew most of the people in my life, they wouldn't even know that I do art. I don't show people. Well, in fact, I've started putting stuff on Facebook, and I can tell by the responses that a lot of my friends that I've had for years and years, they had no idea that I drew. I love my stamps too, Josie, I do. I don't use them that much anymore, but I love them. One thing I learned, Teresa, about stamps is if you like to color them in. I got where I did not like solid stamps, where you had to have, okay, I'll show you. Like this one, for example, you can't see it, but it is a stamp of that, you know, and that for an ink blot is okay. I don't mind that. But for other things, I don't like solid stamps. I would rather have um, a stamp like this that's just the outline. It's so much more versatile, and I can color it in whatever color I want. See? And multiple colors. So there you go. That's my free advice for today. I have free advice for everything. Come back and I'll give you more. Okay, you guys are yakking. Oh, I wish I didn't need glasses. Okay, and one thing about stamps too, I think when you start buying them, you buy a lot of really, really cute ones, but then you find out that the ones that are not so cute turn out being more versatile in the end. Thanks, CB. I'm so glad you guys came, and I'm glad I showed you my art. For sure, Azure Muse, yeah, you start getting into all that stuff and it costs a lot of money. You know, the cool thing about drawing is if you've got a piece of paper, even an envelope that came in the mail, and a pencil, you can do it. Like, it's $0 involved. So, yeah. But just do what you can afford and use what you have. I don't think you have to go out and buy all the new Tim Holtz stuff, or if you can afford it and you want it, buy it. But if I don't think you need it. So anyway, that's more free advice. So thanks, you guys. Thanks so much for coming. And next time Dee Dee forces me back into the corner, I'll do it again. Exactly. Yeah. Use the digital stamps. So appreciate it so much, and thank you for your encouragement and saying my work is nice. That makes me feel good. It makes me want to try harder. Thanks, Dee Dee. You guys, Carrie's gonna be on in just a few minutes. I literally have done nothing today but sit on my butt right here, drink coffee with Mary, and drag out all this crap. So I've got to clean this mess up and be ready for Carrie. And I'm gonna draw Inktober while Carrie entertains us. So thank you so much. Thank you, Eileen. And I know you love it, even though you will tell everybody you don't. I'll see some of you guys at Carrie's. Carrie, put your link in. Make sure they know where to go next. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.